Welcome to the Ascent Tournament Series mainstream. I'm Sporty FC. Hopefully, all are doing well. We've got some good matchups here, or a good matchup here in Week 3. Mafia, Vendetta, Prime Esports, both going to make their visit to the stream now, as we haven't seen either of these teams this season, but definitely do know a good amount of these players from last season here. If we take a look at our teams here, again, both these teams were here last season. Albeit, I think with somewhat different rosters. Mafia Vendetta was in our Phoenix Cup last season, had a decent season for themselves. I believe they may have even made top 16, but could not get past Ace of Hearts. So, ending last season in the top 12, could not make the final bracket. Prime Esports, they were not known as Prime Esports last season. Known as RC Velocity. Together on that RC Velocity team. They themselves did make a pretty impressive run all the way to top 2. They made second last season in the Catalyst Cup, but only losing to Canada in the grand finals. So, again, solid themselves is, again, a lot of returning players. It's 3K, a legend, alert, all part of that RC Velocity team. The only one that isn't is Nata, who is their sub. So, a team that got second last season. New Oregon, Prime Esports, we'll see how they're able to perform this season. But so far, both these teams, I mean, they'll be pretty happy, I think, with how their first couple weeks have gone. Mafia Vendetta are 2-0. Prime Esports are 1-1. Prime Esports having just got a win over JG Sunrise last week. Vendetta, who themselves had a relatively easy season. I mean, they've had to beat Ace of Hearts. They also had to play with Noharu. It's not been easy, but it's a Mafia Vendetta team that we expect to perform quite well in this group. So, they'll be happy with how it's looking anymore here. It'll be interesting to see how things will go. Again, I'm excited for this matchup. Forward to it. I think it's going to be a good time here. For now, though, again, we'll hopefully get things underway momentarily, as, again, match we will have this evening is Mafia Vendetta and Prime Esports play. And I'm excited. I'm looking forward to all of this. I mean, it's nice to be here in Week 3. It's nice to see some pretty good teams this season that we have kind of overlooked so far. But again, I expect these teams to have chances. We'll get things underway momentarily. As soon as both these teams join the lobby. Yeah, with it being Week 3, we're kind of a good amount of the distance through this season. An update for all of you as well as soon as everybody's here, but they should be here any moment here. Again, I'm excited for this. This will be a best of 5, by the way. Should be a pretty interesting matchup here. By the way, 3K HO, I think it's Echo, by the way. So. I had to think about it a little bit, but I was going to say, I remember his name, I think, had some... Well, you're having a great evening? I'm having a great evening, Fox. Thanks for asking. Doing well. Joining in here on Midwest Mafia. Well, clearly it's not Fox, but it is Snake Inertia. Nope, it is 3K. Alright, I said it correctly the first time. Let's get this match underway here. Best of 5 for all of you out there watching. This is Week 3 for Mafia Vendetta. 2-0 this season. Looking to win again. This is a top-tier team. A really good VV3 roster. Even though they are not the highest ranked team in the tournament, they're good. They're going to be tough to beat. They're one of the top teams in this grouping. Prime Esports 1-1, hot off a win last week to Golden Hour Esports Sunrise. So a strong start here as the runners-up from last season's Catalyst Cup already put one in. Legend with the first goal as this one Slides right through all the defenders as Mafia Vendetta took a risk on the kickoff. And it did not work well here, so... We've seen Mafia Vendetta most recently actually in our Paradise Cup, where we made a pretty impressive... they made a pretty decent run in, I believe it was our Excellence Cup that they competed in. If I'm not wrong, they made... If you want to correct me, I think they made either top 6 or top 4. Somewhere around there. They definitely made top 8. And they did decently well in top 8 from what I remember. And again, the one thing that is always true about this team is that they're a very, very good 3v3 team. And, well, fortunately now, you don't have to worry about 2s and 1s anymore. It's just 3s in this matchup. And really going to try to utilize that the best I can here against the Prime Esports team that is trying to get used to this kind of rank level, although... Again, having gotten second last season in the Catalyst Cup, one of our toughest divisions on record, I think they're going to fit just fine. As an infield pass, Jupiter will put this one in. And it's an answer from Mafia Vendetta as, yeah, 3K there, just shot it off of Legend. And that's what happens when you rotate near side like that. Especially in the position that Legend's in, he's really only cutting off options there for 3K. Now that's only going to make things tougher here for Prime Esports as this Mafia Vendetta team. A very, very good team chemistry. Although one thing that they are definitely struggling with so far is the speed that Prime Esports is playing. This is a very fast-moving team. Really trying to catch Mafia Vendetta on a quick break here, but Mafia Vendetta is pretty cool under pressure. They're not going to fall to the pressure very easily. What they could fall to, though, is getting outpaced. Again, that rotation of theirs, if there's a few demos that get mixed in, it may fall apart here, so... Definitely focus on if Prime Esports really pick up the pace here on those on any openings they find. The offense continues here for Mafia Vendetta. Prime Esports with alert. Challenge in the midfield by Inertia as Jupiter. Touch will be stopped by 3K as Snake jumps in. Mafia Vendetta trying to continue those strong challenges that they know they can hit. As, I got confirmation, by the way, Mafia Vendetta made top 4 in Paradise Cup, so I had to check myself, but they made top 4 in that event, so again, a very good team overall here. Snake's gonna get that save. Jupiter, ooh, it's a bit of a heavy first touch. Snake's gonna help him out as a bit of an awkward rotation here. Inertia's waiting back as Legend won't be able to hit the target. That will not clear it away. It's straight back to Jupiter. Mafia Vendetta. Again, that's where that pace on that Prime Esports are showing us can really be scary, is whenever that Mafia Vendetta rotation starts to slow down a little bit. Prime Esports will find those openings, and they're going to play fast to them too. They don't like to play slow. They want to play fast. They want to get in your face and get in the play early here as a shot on. Legend makes it tough. And Prime Esports with a 2-1 lead halfway through game 1. Again, that speed at which they're playing is really going to make things a lot tougher for Mafia Vendetta to handle. I mean, even teams at the Phoenix Cup level usually don't play this fast, and Esports, again, it's something that they really want to make sure that they utilize. Usually against teams, I would mention a lot about Mafia Vendetta's chemistry. This is a team that's been around for a couple of seasons, but Prime Esports team, again, is virtually unchanged since last season, that when they were RC Velocity and got top 2. Be too concerned as Snake got bumped. Jupiter's out of position here, and 3K will put it in. Prime Esports just attacking the back wall, and Jupiter, who really did make a mess in that position, just way too far out of net. Expecting to clear, that's why he's pushing up that high, but it's a mistake that will prove to be costly. And Prime Esports with an even bigger lead now in game 1 as a fake kickoff. Legend looking for 3K. Snake gets around him, but bumped out the way. Alert will keep the offense. Inertia to clear. Legend jumping in, and 3K will go to alerts. And I like this passing from Prime Esports. When you are playing as fast as they are, it's usually very tough to recognize where your teammates are, because you're trying to play with speed, and so often we see teams, when they play with speed, not really play with precision. Prime Esports are playing with precision right now. Their passes are connecting. They've got some great pressure. Well, their rotation has definitely been under a lot of strain because of the way they're playing. It has held up quite well. Considering, again, that this is a very fast-moving Prime Esports. Shoot, that's back post! And it will be unstoppable. Mafia Vendetta will add one back as Jupiter leaves it for Inertia. And that's a great shot as well. Top right corner. That's not going to be stopped. And one goal away now from tying things up. Mafia Vendetta. They haven't had much on offense this game, but what they have had, they've made a good job of really making dangerous. As Jupiter looking for number 3, that will be easily kept out by Alert. Snake off the sidewall. Second touch to get on by. 3K can't go. That's a great touch from Legend though. Goes right up and over Inertia. Mafia Vendetta will go back to the midfield as no second touch. Inertia won't jump on it on time, but here goes Snake. The backfield's a bit open here, but Prime Esports will watch as that touch, it needs to be better from Snake. Will not go anywhere here as Mafia Vendetta back on defense again. Snake wins the challenge. Already up is Inertia, but won't have it. It is straight back to 3K. Snake now takes it away from 3K. Shot on! Oh, it deflected in! Inertia will tie the game! Prime Esports, I said it before, this team has rarely made mistakes, but that rotation does fall apart when you play this fast. Unfortunately for Alerts, he challenged when he probably shouldn't have, and just ran into the ball there, an unfortunate circumstance, but it's an even scoreline, and Mafia Vendetta now momentum. Again, with a rotation like that, so often you can see players rush the play. I feel like Alerts did exactly that last time around, and got caught doing so. Such a tough position to be in, because if he doesn't challenge, he's giving an open shot, as this is a wide open net! Oh man, Prime Esports have completely fallen apart at the end of this game. With less than 7 seconds to go, Alert! He's hitting it off the sidewall like he expects someone to challenge, and to be fair, I don't know where Legend is on that play, but he's not in the right spot, he's right below him. Legend needs to be midfield there, he needs to be ready for that ball to pop out midfield. Prime Esports on the right page here, and man, they've just completely fallen apart at the end of this game. 3 goals straight from Mafia Vendetta in the last couple seconds. Prime Esports, who are looking so good at the start of this game, have proven why a fast playstyle isn't always necessarily a perfect playstyle. I was complimenting them earlier on how well they were able to rotate, but in this game they really did panic. Some missed touches hurt them here. The quality of their gameplay fell apart at the end of this game. Throughout the rest of this game, they looked amazing on that rotation. By the end of it, though, it fell apart too quickly, and Mafia Vendetta, they're a rotational-based team. If you fall apart on that rotation, they will absolutely score against you. They'll take game 1, 5-3. We'll go to game 2 next, and for Prime Esports, playing as fast as they are. It's again, a very speedy showing from them, but I mean, that rotation, it's not exactly been perfect for them because of that speed. Gotta be careful not to overdo those rotations to the point where they are out of position more often than they should be. As we'll go into game 2 here. Sure, Prime Esports aren't going to change too much about their way of playing, just making sure that they clean up any of those little mistakes they made. I think if you're Mafia Vendetta, though, the pressure's on you to still adapt to the Prime Esports speed. They themselves are definitely trying to match it, as, oh, that's an amazing pass on the back wall. Will be cut out as Inertia to shoot. Save away by Alert. Snake. The back wall. Go Snake. Challenge. Legend. Inertia will leave. Snake will go up in the air as a demo on 1 means the backfield's open. 3K will be there. Mafia Vendetta again trying to match that speed out of Prime Esports. Not an easy task to do. I don't know if that's the way I would have adapted to Prime, but definitely a way to beat this team as a challenge. Oh, that's kept off the line. Follow up from Inertia. Save away. That ball goes off the post. Now it's Jupiter in front of the net. Nobody but boost. Sneak to shoot. Kept out as Alert jumps in the way. And Legend will just get rid of this one. Offense now. Jupiter long way down. And 3K will have it. Right in front of the net too. A scary moment for Prime Esports. But they will hold on for now. A follow-up. Nobody in net. That's gone off the front post and out. As Snake keeps it away off the back wall. Alert will be on it as Jupiter can't make the touch. Inertia almost bumped out the way here as that touch goes all the way back to Legend. Snake to Jupiter. Jupiter to net. There's nobody home. And Mafia Vendetta score first. Jupiter saw immediately that the opening was there, and there was nobody back in net to begin with. But that demo really only made things better as Inertia taking out that last defender. Only one who really had a chance to save that one in the first place. Vendetta. I haven't seen too many demos from this team so far, but definitely something that they're good at. Something that they will absolutely want to utilize if it means getting more goals for them. Again, they're really trying to match that pace out of Prime Esports, and they're actually doing a pretty good job at doing it. Says Snake, Jupiter already up in the air. He's got the dunk as well. This ball's waiting in front of Inertia. Will shoot it in. It hit off a defender, but it won't make a difference. It is 2-0 for Midwest Mafia as a double commits, and 3K tripping off the post. Means that Legend's the only one there that can save it, and well, he actually does a pretty good job even getting on the ball. He will not get enough to get that one out. Is Mafia Vendetta, who, well, just matched his pace, and man, this game 2 is looking a whole lot different than game 1 did. Matching the pace, matching the speed, and Prime Esports just looked dumbfounded. 3-0 in the first 2 minutes of game 2. And with the way that Mafia Vendetta is playing, they're just matching the speed of Prime Esports. Yeah, it seems to be the scariest part about Prime Esports is how fast they want to play this game. Mafia Vendetta proving that they can play that speed too, as this is going to be, saved by Snake! He sat on the goal line trying to get rid of 3K, and he accidentally saved his own teammate's shot. Prime Esports will move upfield, but very slowly here. Looking for openings as to the back wall. Legend challenging Inertia. 3K, 2 go for Mafia Vendetta, as Snake will be next to it. Jupiter wins the challenge. As a bump from Snake means room for Jupiter to work with. That's one is under 1. 3K, long touch. Inertia, waiting. Here away by Snake as alert to the side wall. Snake will look for Jupiter. Redirects, it's on target, and Legend had to rush quickly to get to that one. Nobody else, it looked like, saw it on Prime Esports. And very much a decent sized goal difference here. Mafia Vendetta not going to shut down here, as infield for a Snake. Save away as Alert cuts him out, but low boost here for everyone on Prime Esports, and a low boost means they cannot get out of defense as easily as they want to. Jupiter won't challenge as 3K clears it out, and Snake, who will be able to make that touch, who will need to make another in the midfield. Legend the only one back, as Snake with room. Alert will be waiting for Mafia Vendetta. They're not even challenging at this point. They're just waiting. They're letting this time do the rest of this work. They had the 3 goals they wanted in that first 2 minutes. Now they aren't scoring anything. They're just playing for time, playing for wasting time, and giving Prime Esports no chance to come back in game 2 as Snake. Back wall. Legend. Ooh, he gets a touch on this one, and Alert is waiting for it. It's a great first touch from Alert. He'll outplay Jupiter with it, but not get much further than that. Is bumped out of the way. Snake will easily be able to collect this one, and actually Jupiter wanted that touch as well. It's now Legend who has it. But it is straight to Inertia with all this open room. Prime Esports can't challenge. Jupiter to the back wall. Alert will leave it for Legend. Still Legend. Will Alert in support. Will look for his teammate in the midfield. This one cut away. Prime Esports just stuck between a rock and a hard place. They can't go down to offense. Their speed isn't helping them. It does feel like Mafia Vendetta has made those adjustments they've needed to. And again, they're playing at the speed of Prime Esports, and that's a very tough thing to do here, but they're doing it, and they're doing it consistently. 4-0 now with 18 seconds left. Mafia Vendetta will take a 2-0 series lead. One away from sweeping Prime Esports in week 3. The way this team's playing, I mean, if they just match the speed again, clearly Prime Esports don't have a lot else to offer in this matchup. They rely on being that faster team. And when they aren't getting it, well, Mafia Vendetta are proving what happens when Prime Esports don't win on speed. It's not pretty for Prime Esports. They just can't seem to get offense. As game 2 will end in a moment here. Prime Esports now down 0-2 in the series. Mafia Vendetta have now taken down the one they were able to utilize in game 1 in their pace of play. But in game 2, clearly, it has not helped them here, as Mafia Vendetta now one away from winning the series. Go to game 3 now. Going so far for this team. They 1 win away from taking this series, Mafia Vendetta. I mean, they swapped their opponent last week as well, if I'm not wrong. In Ace of Hearts, so looking to do it again. As I said, this is a very consistent 3v3 team, very tough to take down, very tough to match. Well, they're really getting to meet them here in Prime Esports. I mean, for them, they won their match last week against GHE, but not exactly an easy group for Prime. They're actually the lower seed, I believe, in this group, so they've got a lot to prove still here, and clearly, if they can't win on pace, they haven't shown much else to offer in Game 2. They've got to change something here, because clearly Mafia Vendetta will keep up with them in terms of how fast they want to play. What else are Prime Esports going to bring to this one? Demos? I wouldn't be surprised if they bring demos. With the way they're playing and how aggressive they want to be, demos might be the way to beat that Mafia Vendetta defense. For now, though, it's Game 3, and we'll see if anything changes. Mafia Vendetta lead the series 2-0. Prime Esports, well, didn't have much to offer last game. They'll now need to show what they have here in Game 3 to keep this series alive, although they have now double committed on defense. Inertia has an infield option in Jupiter. Legend can't go, and the shot off the bar, it is flipped up by Alert, and it will be 3K to clear. Some great coordination from Prime Esports. That is so tough to handle because there were multiple players who had nothing in the tank there. It's called teamwork, and under all that pressure too, so tough to really communicate clearly what you're doing. But they've done a perfect job at that, as now they'll look to score. Legend shot wide. Everybody on Mafia in the same corner here. Alert almost got the shot off. Snake will, and the end of it is Jupiter will flick it away. Alert chasing him down, but it's Jupiter's ball. It's Jupiter's room. Wins the challenge. The shot is to the back of the net. And Jupiter, with all this room in the midfield, just too much given to him by 3K and Legend. If they challenge earlier, they win that play, they go back to offense, but because they don't, Jupiter will have an easy opening to look at. Legend will leave it. Challenging up the field, it's Snake. Ooh, that's not a good touch from him. Inertia will go back. Legend to 3K. That net's open! Oh, 3K missed it! Follow-up there will not go in. 3K missed his chance, and they never got another one there. Prime Esports so far have had 2 great chances where they probably should have scored. Mafia Vendetta, that rotation, that defense, it feels like they've been getting a little bit more relaxed here, and a little too relaxed against the Prime Esports team that's proving that they have opportunities and they are getting close to taking them. You can't play relaxed to this team as Snake on the dunk. Legend will be ready for it. Mafia Vendetta make playoffs last season. They didn't make to the top 8 last season. Be 1 match away, losing to the Ace of Hearts. Team though, even with how bad last season was for them in terms of their overall performances, they're usually a team that makes top 8. In a division like this, even with how, maybe how much even though they maybe underperformed, they haven't made any changes this season. This team's a confident one. They're a team that knows they are good. They know their own worth. Trying to prove that this season it'll be theirs to win one for Midwest Mafia. It would be the second time, if they were to win, this would be the second time Midwest Mafia win, and the second team out of Midwest Mafia that would win a tournament. Although they gotta be careful here because there is nobody covering that. Legend, I don't think he expected this to be so easy for himself, but nobody ever challenged him. Mafia Vendetta, again, have been very relaxed on defense, and not for the right reasons. This is to win that series. Is that going to go in? That's falling towards net. What a save. Still in front as Legend's going to clear. And Mafia Vendetta just weren't going to be there to challenge as this one flipped up in front of the net. Inertia will be ready. And challenge up high. Snake has it. All alone is Snake, and Alert will cut it out. Jupiter to the corner. The midfield is there. Legend will be able to beat Inertia to the play. And Mafia Vendetta will once again go back to their own half of the field. Inertia. What's a very poor first touch because it is straight to Legend. Snake finds Inertia. Now looking for Jupiter. There's nobody back, and it's a free shot for 3K. Yeah, Jupiter hesitated to go for this, and he knew immediately that that's a play he's got to go faster to. A wide open net. And Mafia Vendetta on a huge risk in the midfield will not succeed. It's a 1-goal lead for Prime. Inertia will wait. Mafia Vendetta now facing the pressure of time, but they had that same issue last game, and they were able to watch as Prime Esports fell apart in front of them. I don't know if it's going to happen again. I don't think it's going to happen. Man, there's nobody back here, and Alert's going to have another one. It's his first of this game. It's definitely not his first of the series, though, but... And Mafia Vendetta, a double commit in the middle of defense, too. This game has just been ugly for Mafia Vendetta. It's not been pretty. I think they've just gotten too comfortable with how they played against Prime Esports, and you cannot do that. We saw Game 1 and how close that was. It feels like they've already forgotten about how close that game was, and how Game 2 was virtually not too much different for you, just as that they had a better start, and their shots connected. This game they haven't. It's much more like Game 1, and that means it's going to be a lot closer, and that means Prime Esports will have their chances. And the sad thing is for Mafia Vendetta, at least for them, they were warned about this in the Game 3. The first couple chances that Prime Esports had, they didn't score, but they absolutely could have. Mafia Vendetta need to use those as warnings that they could not play easy to Prime Esports. But they clearly didn't learn. At the end of Game 3, they're really rushing just to get anything on target here as Jupiter that is off to the corner and nobody there to challenge us. Snake, he's waiting, but he's got to go here. Shot. 3K. Oh, he missed it! Jupiter! Oh, he won't be able to score here. Snake will play up high. Inertia can't shoot. 3K will clear, and Mafia Vendetta will lose Game 3. Prime Esports, very similar to Game 1, except this time they did not fall apart. The series continues. Now we go to Game 4, and I think for Mafia Vendetta, they've now been given a very big warning here. They cannot take Prime Esports easily. But I think by the start of the game, they're just kind of relaxed and kind of sat back a little too far. There's a team that doesn't have to play that way, and I think it's a team that shouldn't have to play that way. I'm gonna beat this Prime Esports team. It's not gonna be by sitting back and playing slowly. You gotta keep that pace. You gotta keep that intensity. Prime Esports, they're gonna keep theirs. Game 4 now. Prime Esports to look for a reverse sweep this season. We'll need to find another win here as Legend flip reset. Oh, he's found it! 6 seconds in. And what a move. That's gonna get people awake here. A flip reset for the first goal of the game. Mafia Vendetta, who again took those first 2 games and played consistently then. That's a tough play to stop, but now they've got to come back again. Oh, but they may not need to wait too long here as I don't know what's happening in front of that net, but 3K and Legend both running into each other. It have been very dangerous had Mafia Vendetta had been more willing to challenge a little bit more aggressively on that. Inertia. Alert. Ooh, Inertia. That's the wrong direction. Snake. Still challenging. Inertia now. That one pinched all the way downfield. Alert. Have boost and will have time to work is kept up in the air. Looking for the A against Jupiter as Snake was going to predict that 50-50. Did not predict it correctly, so he's going to be very slow to get this one out of defense here as we'll find Jupiter as Prime Esports. Not in the right position here. Jupiter will only be stopped by Legend on the goal line. Mafia Vendetta will look again. Legend, the save. Inertia had to beat him to the play just to keep that ball out. 3K to net. 3K saved by Jupiter. Alert will leave this one. His Legend's call, but early challenge from Mafia Vendetta. You gotta find ways to get some room on offense here. Get some passes going. Make things a little bit more difficult. Prime Esports are just all huddled in that net right now. Really, they don't mind playing on low boost because they've done it a couple times already without too many issues. Although here's an issue. Has that one stayed in front of the net for a bit longer than I think Prime Esports wanted it to. But again, there's a pass, and Jupiter off getting boost. There is no one to support him. Mafia Vendetta just feel way too ready to leave the play, but this is an open net. Inertia, Jupiter in the back and tied up. And I'm not a big fan of Mafia Vendetta waiting far this far back, but you can't wait here. Prime Esports gave him a chance, and from that distance, they'll take it. A big goal to respond with. As Snake demoed. Jupiter. Fisher trying to play Enforcer, but need the challenge here as here goes Snake. This one tapped down. Alert will clear. Legend's already up for this, and Snake's gonna catch up to him with it. Alert now. Beat by Inertia. Midwest Mafia possession and Midwest Mafia offense. It's 3K, he doesn't make the touch he wanted there. Snake midfield. Jupiter will leave it. Inertia's got the better angle. Front post. That one got a little tap off of Alerts. It was wide regardless, but we're making sure it doesn't get too far away from the net. And allow for a second effort. Alert again. Legend. Almost found Alert there on that shot as there's Jupiter. Alert's going to easily get to this one in time. He will find Legend. That one in the midfield is Inertia. He wanted more power on that. Jupiter was in the right spot to shoot that. There's Legend with room, and there's actually a very minimal amount of defense there, but it's very slow challenge on a play the other way. Mafia Vendetta with a second straight counterattack goal, and a second straight goal scored by Jupiter. Prime Esports may be getting a bit carried away here on offense, but Mafia Vendetta working with that transition. They know this Prime Esports backline has been nearly impossible to beat when they're all in net. Better way to do it, just get them when there's less people in net. This team, they want to send players upfield. They now need to really score. Gonna be more willing to send players upfield. Those counterattacks could really favor them, but oh, what happened here? Two players went for Mafia Vendetta. Neither of them hit it. And it was just a ball thrown on target. That's gonna fall through for Prime Esports. As Inertia gonna win that challenge. It's Legend who will be there, but it's Jupiter with room. He missed the front post. It was a tough angle, but one that I'm sure Jupiter would like to have again. Here's Snake now. That's in front of the goal, but it's out and low boost for Prime here. Jupiter with room. Saved by 3K. A follow-up. Jupiter will leave it, and it's a goal. The lead flips back to Mafia Vendetta. And with a minute to go, they can now hold on to defense a little bit stronger. Prime Esports will have to play more aggressively. 3K. Snake cuts it away. Jupiter and Mafia Vendetta still not giving up on offense here. They're looking for that fourth goal to really silence Prime Esports once and for all. Inertia and Snake, everybody up for this one. Prime Esports will have to go back to defense, though there's nobody there to shoot it. But a great scramble back. Well, they do have to start on defense. I don't think they mind too much considering that everybody was upfield. That could have been a goal for the other way. As Jupiter will win the challenge. Legend has nothing. Jupiter, damn it out of the way by 3K. Legend, leaving in front of the net here and will force out Snake. And actually, two went for there for Prime Esports. Alert. A little jumpy on the goal line. Will now win the challenge. It's Legend. It is in. And it's all even. Just great awareness, too, to see Legend sneak by the defensive backline. That is really all alerts, recognizing where Legends playing. And Prime Esports with a clean goal. And boy, their hopes of reverse sweep could very be true here as Legends might have another one. He will hit the post. Oh, it's gone out. It's in front. Save away by inertia. Mafia Vendetta saved by the post there. But they've got to save this as well. Legend. Oh, he didn't get the touch he wanted. Alert. In midfield, it is 3K, not on target. Jupiter. Oh, he's kept it up here. Snake will dribble. Jupiter the other way. Maybe a chance for Mafia, but this one hits the floor. We go to overtime in Game 4. Mafia Vendetta can win it here. 2-on-1 off the kickoff. It is in! Snake pushes it through. Mafia Vendetta win it. And off the kickoff as well. They won't ask how they go in. They'll just be happy it does. This game is over. 3-1. Mafia Vendetta win it. I really have to work for that one too. So much pressure on them. So much that they had to fight for. What a performance. 3-1. They stay undefeated for Prime Esports. Their record drops to 1-2. And man, impressive to say the very least. Prime Esports proving that they deserve to be here, but there's a reason why Mafia Vendetta are one of the top teams in this grouping. That chemistry is so tough to beat. So tough to answer to. Good on them for clutching up and getting that win when they needed it. Well, to all of you out there watching, thank you all so much for joining the Sportiest stream. It means a lot to me, really. You all are amazing. And again, thank you all so much for your support. But for now, though, we're going to get a raid out. Thank you all so much for joining the Ascent Tournament Series mainstream, and congrats to Mafia Vendetta. We'll be live with more matches, likely more matches this week. For now, though, have a good rest of your night, everybody. Thank you so much.